Yes, we are back with you. It's the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast, and we are still loud and clear on Welsh football. For the newcomers, I'm the former BBC Wales football correspondent. I'm Rob Phillips, and alongside me for another season of chat and often argument, former Wales international and Premier League player Nathan Blake.
How you doing, Rob?
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
good. You're looking
Also,
well.
well, you know, it's the summer and we're all in summery mood.
Fantastic summer. Buddy.
Yeah, fantastic. We're delighted to say also we're back at our home at the University of South Wales, Atrium, where we're brought to you by with the valued support of the journalism and media courses. Tell your friends, we've returned. We're still available on all the social media outlets, Instagram, X, Blue Sky, Threads. Watch us on YouTube. Get us on all your usual podcast outlets, including Spotify. And please, it does make a big difference. Please, we'd be hugely grateful if you could like and subscribe.
Can I just say, we're missing a few props, peeps, right? So I forgot some stuff, and Rob was supposed to bring his caps, and he didn't bother. So.
I've only got the one flat cap, and it's too warm for that anyway.
Yeah.
But it's an age since we last together. Are you looking forward to the new season after the World Cup?
Yeah. I thought the World Cup was pretty average, to be fair. Some good highlights. Isn't too much interference
Politics,
for me. Yeah. Always the way. I knew soon as, back in the day when politicians started getting involved in football and then telling footballers, you're a footballer, you can't speak about politics. Yeah. Beginning of the end, my friend. Beginning of the end. We're on the road to nowhere.
Oh, David Byrne's finest. One of them. Sorry, I'm in Cardiff. Sensational.
Yeah, well, I just thought I'd check it in, right? Because
I know.
You weren't expecting that one, would you?
No. People who see me on social media, Rob Phillips here on various outlets would know I just love talking heads.
Okay.
And David Byrne and his group just did not. Yeah. His dancers just did not disappoint. Yeah. Anyway. Music we will talk about a lot, but we're talking about football mainly.
Like, if there's anyone who wants a music podcast, a decent one. No, not a music podcast. I want to play music. Sorry.
All right, forget that. What what's happened since we were last together? I'll refresh your memory, Nick. Okay. Blake, Craig Bellamy was Wales manager.
Mm-hmm.
Then it looked as if he was going.
Oh, okay.
His assistant, Piet Kremer, did go.
Mm-hmm.
We all watched the Bellamy situation develop, and then he didn't go, and he's still Wales manager. More of that to come in the next few weeks. Cardiff manager Brian Barry Murphy and Swansea boss Vitor Matos both signed new contracts. Wrexham have done their usual pre-season in the United States of America. Newport had Christian Fuchs, and then a couple of days before pre-season training, he'd gone.
What is going on at that club? Just please tell me. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, Hayden Mullins now in charge. Merthyr boss Paul Michaels has gone full-time at Penydarren.
Go on, Paul. Well, that push, I think, will happen. They should have got promoted last year, or they should have been in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, yeah. But I'm told they reckon they've got a better squad this year, even without likes of Lewis Twamley.
Without little Twammers?
Yeah. Who's at Southend now?
I don't know about that, because he's a player.
Yeah, he is. Wishing him the best as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And the Cymru League has been revamped with sponsorship by NOVIRA. Now, the NOVIRA Cymru Prem is now contested with 16 teams. It's bigger, better, hopefully. And so we thought we'd follow suit.
Can we get some free products? Because I use NOVIRA.
Yeah, no, it's not what you're thinking of. So on a regular basis, we are going to be joined by the voice of the Cymru Prem and still the last Wales manager to beat England, I think, Wales Sea boss and Sgorio pundit Mark Jones. So more of him. Yeah, he'll be on later.
That's on the police.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah. And I would say if you want to hear, we want to hear more from you. So listen, we'd love the fans to get involved. I've had a bit of social media this week, so we'll have one or two of your predictions on where your team is going to finish. But the more you can offer, the better. And I'm sure there's going to be a big reaction to Jonah's views on the
Can I
NOVIRA
just say,
Cymru Prem.
so many people have spoken to me and said, when is the podcast coming back?
Yeah.
Right? Even, young lad Ben in hotel in Newport, I won't say the hotel because, you know.
Others are available.
Others are available. But yeah, lots of people over the summer just saying, when's the podcast back? When's it starting? Why didn't you do a World Cup?
Well, because I was
Yeah.
I was in Kos for some of the World Cup, so I watched it over there.
It wasn't me.
But anyway, let's move on to the Championship starts this weekend, the EFL. They all had games in the Carabao Cup last weekend. Cardiff, the only ones to get through. They're going to play Norwich in round 2. I was going to say it hasn't been the busiest window, which ends on September the 1st, by the way, 11 o'clock. But the one team who've been really busy, one club who've been really busy, is Swansea. Finished 11th last season. In fact, the last 2 seasons. We like Vito Matos, don't we?
Yeah.
We went to
he's a
meet
good
him
guy,
last
man.
season.
And you're a good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about what they've done? Liam Cullen has gone.
Yeah. They've
Ethan Galbraith gone.
Yes.
Among those who've gone, yeah.
I like Just, man.
Elijah Just.
Yeah. And what's the other lad?
They got Joseph Opoku, striker. Hearing good things about him.
Signed a defender who was playing with Just up in Scotland.
Stephen Welsh.
Yeah. I quite like this. I think, no disrespect to the boys who have gone, but I think they're just a higher caliber. And I think if you're Swansea and you're going to allow the manager, first of all, you bring him in and he knows what he's doing, right, Rob?
Yeah.
And he's young, he's vibrant, he's good with the players. He knows what he wants. He knows the direction of travel he wants the club to go in. So you've got to allow him to start building. And you've got to say, there might be some Swansea fans who are upset at, someone like Cullen going. But if you're bringing in, for me, a higher caliber of player, then I don't think you'll complain. Because if you finish 11th twice, then you should, by rights, finish a bit higher this season. And as we know, there's 8 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they signed Ross Stewart as well.
Yes.
Who's proven with a bit of a, should we say, mixed injury record.
Yeah. But, it can happen to you that. I would say to anybody, I remember I had my injuries, but I never had injuries like I did until I went to Blackburn. Why? Because, at Bolton, we trained at Exton, which at that time in the winter it was really boggy. Sheffield United, we trained at different Hallam University, different places, but in the 90s this was, the pitches would get boggy. And at Cardiff we trained on Dog Park, right?
Yeah, a word we won't use, but
yeah, and that was really boggy. So my physical always used it. When I went to Blackburn, they had these hard quality, beautiful pitches. My body just couldn't handle it. I had a problem with my shin, my Achilles, my knee, my back. It was battered me just because we'd gone from from surfaces that were soft and forgiving to a really firm sort of how the pitches are now.
I suppose the big question with Ross Stewart is he there to replace Jan Vipotnik if Vipotnik goes? They've turned down an offer from Hull.
Yeah.
I mean, we both like Vipotnik, don't we? He's a proper classy finisher.
If I'm totally honest, Rob, I think he is there to replace Vipotnik. And I know Swans fans will be saying, we spent a bit of money at last. But you'll probably recoup 20 million for Vipotnik, at least.
The word is they want 25.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Is that fair for
him?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's fair. Yeah, because I think, what's the Scottish striker, McBurney?
Yeah.
They got 25 million for him 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think Vipotnik's a better striker than he at the time in the Championship for what Vipotnik done last season. And I would say 25 million. I'd probably say in the day's money for a striker, who's just got you 25 goals. 20, 25, I think is
Well, he was
probably
championship
on a
golden
reasonable
boot
side.
last season, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it's on a reasonable side.
Yeah, yeah.
Say. If you said to me 32 million, I wouldn't blink.
Really?
Yeah. I think he's a quality player. I think he's a really quality player.
Yeah, he's. I try to think of a player similar to him. What I love about him is, I still don't think his build-up play is fantastic.
No, he's a striker.
But he times his runs into the box and he finishes from all angles.
He's a striker. He's a goal scorer.
Yeah.
I think even I at the beginning when I first seen him play, I was like, well, size, stature. One, you're not quick. Right?
Yeah.
But what I'd noticed was he's quick in the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
So he's quick thinking as well. So he don't make stupid runs. He makes the right run 9 times out of 10. Hence why he got so many goals in a team that's finished middle of the table. So he's a clever player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not buying just if he goes anywhere and doesn't score goals, to me, it's just because he's not fitting in, because he will leave and go and score goals. He's a goal scorer.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, like I said, size and stature can lead you to believe, well, he should be doing this, he should be doing that. And players should be able to play with their back to goal. But he's not bad. He does it.
No.
He does it like 7, 8 out of 10, you'd say. You know, he's not like, the greatest in the world at it, but he does. But I like him because he makes intelligent sort of 10, 15-yard runs.
So you're not surprised there's
5, 6
interest, genuine interest in him?
Yeah. I'm surprised I'm surprised, no disrespect, I'm surprised it's not a team that's higher up the Premier League who ain't going, well, I'll take a little gamble on that,
Yeah. So, as I said, they finished 11th the last couple of times. Let's throw in now that there are 8. The playoffs go down to 8th this season.
Not sure I agree with it, though.
No, but it's a reality, mate.
Yeah, it's not going to change, mate, but yeah.
I think Swansea have got a shout of 8th. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I've seen.
I would say anybody has got a shout. That's what I think them extra 2 places does. I think, you can be 15th, like we seen last season. It was probably from about 4th down to about 14th for probably up until the end of April. We're all towards the end. We're all in with a shout, right?
You can't see many dead rubbers now at the end of the season, can you? With 8th as a
that's true.
Could go down to 15th, 16th, probably going into the last 2 or 3 games of the season.
Yeah.
So, do you fancy Swansea might be? I mean, they'll have ambition for that, won't they? I'd be.
Norwich were in a bad situation last year. They'll be stronger this year. I think Sheffield United, they were in a terrible position. They managed to get to safety. Then there was a sniffer playoffs. Then it kind of faded off. Yeah. They'll be strong this year. Sheffield United also have Burnley will be strong this year. You got some real big teams in there. Cardiff will come up. They'll be stronger this year. I would say whoever goes up first and second, the rest is like, I will go from 3rd down to probably 16th will be in amongst it.
In the mix.
No, they got, and like, you only need to go 3 or 4 games back to back, win. Right? And what it does, it builds a confidence, and for the opponent, it builds a fear. Remember when Cardiff and the Warnock went first 5 or 6 games, win.
Yeah.
And I was saying then, get down the stadium because this team's going to get promoted because they're doing something a bit different. But also what's happening is I could see that in the future, even if they have a bad run, they've built such a reserve that they'll always, even a bad run from first, I think they dropped the lowest was about 4th, right? And they had a Christmas period where I don't think they've done very well over Christmas, but they stayed second for a while. They dropped the 4th and then they finished second. So,
well, I think we're going to know a lot about Swans in the opening games. They go to Stoke this weekend.
They'll be decent, Stoke.
Sheffield United home on the 22nd.
We're on blades, man.
Derby away. Watford home. Who knows who Watford? Wrexham home on September the 5th. And then away to Southampton. Again, who knows who is Southampton?
Well, read those names again.
Stoke, Sheffield United, Derby, Watford, Wrexham and Southampton.
All been Premier League.
Yeah.
All trying to vie for Premier League.
apart from Wrexham. They haven't been Premier League.
We know Wrexham, but Derby, the rest of
Yeah.
them, all Premier League, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it's becoming.
Like
You
a
know,
Premier League too.
Well, they're massive clubs,
Yeah.
like Rob. Sheffield United, huge club. Derby, huge club. Norwich, huge club. You know, we might go okay in comparison to Man United or Liverpool, but those clubs, it's only Man City in the recent 10, 15 years have elevated themselves to a level where you say, okay, they're a bigger club than those clubs. But those clubs were equivalent to a Cardiff. Do you know what I mean? It was. They get 30,000. Cardiff get 28.
So they've already
much in
suffered an injury. Cameron Burgess looks like he's out for a long time. Should say,
Swans.
yeah,
Is that the centre back?
the centre back.
Scored another own goal in the World Cup, didn't he?
Yeah, the Australian. And I should say that we're recording this on an afternoon where both Cardiff and Swansea are holding press conferences. So Vitor Matas may have updated people on that this afternoon, but the signs are that he's going to be out for a long time. Not everybody was. I mean,
well, he did. He had a bad season last season, didn't he?
And
then he went to the World Cup and
say.
scored another OG. I know it's not his fault. I don't mean to do it, but yeah, I actually thought he was one of the people I would have. And this is my own opinion. I would have been looking to replace this season. So good luck to him. Hope he's his injury gets back quick. And I hope he can turn his season around.
Well, they got a defender in Thiago Parente on loan from Benfica. The one surprise, last thing on Swansea, one surprise, when we went down to speak to Vitor Matas towards the end of last season, and it's still there on YouTube if you want to see the interview, really interesting, in the dressing room. The thing I found slightly, the one remark I'd made about their recruitment this summer, he said he wanted oven-baked Championship players ready for the Championship. We'll see what happens. On the face of it, they come from other places rather than the Championship and the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Other than Ross Stewart.
Yeah, I think what he means though, Rob, is you're not going to just recruit. You're not going to be able to recruit from the Championship. When he's saying oven baked ready, you've got to know
the quality needed.
The quality is not just good enough to play in a Championship, but if you win promotion, those players got to be able to cope with the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at the players they've signed, you'd say,
you can understand the optimism. I
can absolutely understand the
I watched
optimism.
the Swansea Fans Forum a couple of weeks ago, and actually, they were the most content, and those forums can be hot stuff sometimes. But they're really content. Matos is really good with them.
Well, it's the first time they've spent what you'd say, and it's not massive money, is it?
But I think there's trust in him as well.
Yeah. But, I think what you've seen last season with Matos was an improvement of what had gone before.
Absolutely.
And then if you add to that, then you've got a few more players who, on paper, you think they're a better caliber or quality of what he's let go, then why wouldn't you be optimistic?
Yeah. So best of luck to the Swans. We'll get your predictions at the end. Let's move on. First All Wales Battle of the Championship season is on Monday. There'll be 6 of those altogether.
Yeah. 8?
No, more than 6. I got my maths wrong. Sorry. No. Yeah, more.
8.
Yeah.
No. You're on about 6 with the 3 Welsh clubs.
Yeah. And then, of course,
Bristol
they're playing
City.
each other a few times. So
no, Bristol City I'm talking about as well.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm just thinking Cardiff, Swansea and Wrexham playing each other twice each.
I'm talking derbies.
Right, okay.
Cardiff, Swansea, Wrexham, Bristol City.
Okay. Cardiff's opening game after their automatic promotion to the second tier last season. Wrexham, the visitors. Phil Parkinson starting his 6th season at the helm. I mean, he's been phenomenal. And I was when I started thinking about this, I thought, well, they haven't done that much. And yet, the last week now, they signed, last few days, they signed Ben Whiteman from Preston. Good player. You can always tell by the opposing fans' reaction. And they are gutted he's gone from Preston. Danny Imra, in really good reports. He was on loan last season in the Championship. Signed from Crystal Palace on a 4-year deal. And forget the rows we have about the goalkeeping situation at Wrexham. They've signed Alex.
Which you're always wrong.
Sorry?
I think. Well,
No,
Alex.
I haven't forgotten his second name. Anyway, he's in from Sunderland. I'll look it up while you're talking. So Arthur Concord, Danny Ward, Alex Patterson from Sunderland.
Yeah. Well, they got competition then.
Yeah.
So let me tell you something,
Thoughts?
right? Rob, let me tell you something. When Alex Patterson's come in, right?
Yeah.
You don't get given the shirt. You might think I'm coming in as number one, right? But I've played at clubs where I'm the striker and they sign a striker. And the striker thinks he's going to take my shirt. And he's confident of that because the manager assigned him.
Yeah.
When my level of consistency and quality is better than his and for all to see, the manager has to admit defeat. So there's no sort of, just because you sign a player, I always say signing a player is a competition for the other player, or the players in his same position.
Alex Palmer, let's get his name right.
Yeah, that would help. If we could get a proper presenter, that would help.
Yeah, it would rather.
Oh, you lost, are you? What are you doing?
Well,
That's why you don't use them things.
No, I got it wrong.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, who is it? What's his name?
I don't know. I'll look it
What's
up
his
now.
name?
Well, you can tell this is live, can't
I tell you, it's live. We'll take our time.
No.
I'm going to be away by 3, but hey, never mind.
No, don't worry. Carry on. We're a
Alex Papadopoulos?
No.
No?
Quiet. I can't believe this. This is rustiness.
This is why you don't use the technology.
Anthony Patterson. Try that. There
Whoa,
you go. Forget Alex. Anthony Patterson. Anthony, whatever your name is. Apologies.
Yeah,
big time.
You should.
Anthony Patterson. Yeah. So, okay, you're saying
I love seeing you hang yourself.
Well, they paid £8 million for him. You'd think I'd know that. It won't happen again, I tell you that. And I confidently expect him to start against Cardiff.
Like I said, I don't know what he's done pre-season. I don't know what the manager's thought processes are. You don't know. Like I say, players who get bought expect to start. But listen, if Okonkwo or Danny Ward's been an absolute fire in training, you might say, I tell you what, we'll start with Danny, right? And we'll ease
possibly,
Anthony in, we'll ease him in. And then what happens is Danny just has a worldie.
Yeah.
15 games later, your £8 million player still sat there. And then he starts to get a bit, well, what's the point of me coming? And then his level goes down while Danny's is going up or Okonkwo's is going up. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just trying to create a scenario that gives you an idea about competition, and just because you pay money for a player doesn't guarantee that they're going to start.
And the transfer guru, David Ornstein, is reporting that they're pursuing a deal for Henrik Falconer, 23-year-old centre-back from Viking Stavanger.
Oh, Viking Stavanger. I think that's Roger Nielsen's old team.
Oh, right,
I was at Sheffield United.
Well, he was in the Norway squad of the World Cup.
Pre-season.
I read Alex Palmer. I got it written down below. I was looking in the wrong place. What I would say is this. What I would say is this, that Ryan Reynolds said that last season, when they came up to the Championship, they had to have a total revamp. He said we had to assemble an entire Championship squad in one go. So they spent an awful lot of money last summer. And now he's talking about getting the kitchen sorted because a lot of it is already in place now. And after just missing out on the playoffs last season, you can see the logic there, can't you?
No, I think that's exactly the way you do it.
What do you mean you can't see the logic, but then you say
no,
that's the way
no, I'm saying it's not logic. It's just common sense. I wish there was more clubs who followed that. So,
right, okay.
I think that's just for guys who are not British and lover of football or soccer or whatever, who've come in and been bitten by the bug. What I'd say is what they've done is outrageously good. Outrageously good. And yeah, they bought everything last year because they recognised we need to strengthen. And when Forest went up a couple of years ago, and Marinakis bought all those players, and everyone's going, you're crazy. They stayed up. They stayed up the following season, and then, right? So if you recognise that my squad isn't strong enough for the Championship or the Premier League, I want to stay here. I don't want to go down and then have to win another pro. Because money doesn't guarantee you promotion. You've got here. got to the Championship. They revamped the squad. I think they brought like 14 players, something like that, 12 players.
They
Something
spent
like
a
that.
lot of money last
A lot of
season.
money, revamped the squad, ended up just missing out on the playoffs. So this season, yeah, you pick certain players
To give you the
that you
proper
think will.
quote.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You pick certain players that you think will, bolster your squad, add, advantage to what you're trying to do, and you move forward. They're not going to sign another 12 players this season.
No.
3, 4, 5 players on top of what they got. And then you've also got January as well, right?
Yeah,
So I listen, it pains me to say it because Cardiff Newport openly, right? But you have to admire Wrexham. You have to admire what they've done, and like what they've managed to do in 5 years, Cardiff haven't done in 15.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And yes, Cardiff have been to the Premier League twice under the ownership model they got, but they've not been able to stay there. You get the feeling if Wrexham get there, they're staying there, right? Because of what they do around the outside, not just football-wise, but community-wise. Listen, it's like an army that's marching towards battle.
Oh, it's inevitable,
right?
I think.
If
they carry on.
I say that. That's what I say about Cardiff. What the ownership should have done was really make it a community thing, right? Rather than it was just a money thing.
I'm determined to quote this. So it was Ryan Reynolds who said, this season is more like a home renovation show. This episode is about making the kitchen work better rather than doing a whole house renovation.
Yeah. So he's done the bathrooms.
So you're into property, you get all that.
Yeah. So he's gone through the hallway, the living room, replastered, redone the roofs, everything, skimmed everything, done it all, put the lighting in, and now he's, sat in, kitchens are us. There's no one there, see? Kitchens are us going, do I like the gold handles or the green or the blue?
And the racecourse is Kairos is getting bigger and better.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they are taking their time about that standpoint. That is, I'm like, come on, man, get it up.
These things take time. You look at their opening, Cardiff away, as we said, Watford home, Birmingham home, Millwall away, Swansea away, Burnley home.
There's just not an easy fixture.
No.
Just that's what I'm saying. I love the Championship, right? I love it because it's just full of great clubs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think to yourself, well, Bournemouth, and congratulations to them because what they've done is outrageous. But really and truly, they're taking up a spot for do you know what I mean?
I hope it's... I don't think our...
No, but what I'm saying is, if you think like how it's supposed to be, Bournemouth are not supposed to be there.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
If you're a fan of Bournemouth, I'd just like to point out that was the former Wales international Nathan Blake.
You've got Sheffield United, you've got Norwich, you've got all these massive clubs.
Yeah.
Right, Leicester gone down, Sheffield Wednesday have gone down. You've got these massive clubs. And that's why, listen, my admiration for Bournemouth is probably beyond anybody else.
So let's see what the fans think. Andy Cond on X says, as a Wrexham fan, I fear a tougher season than last year. Would settle for anywhere above 10th. I know the owners are ambitious and want Premier League football as soon as possible, but consolidation is the key. Andy Cond.
Consolidation?
Yeah, I don't think.
No.
And
you had a consolidating season last year that almost got you promoted or to the playoffs. This year, to step forward, that's what we're talking about. You consolidate when it's gone pear-shaped, right? And then you consolidate and then you move forward. No. They've not made any mistakes where you've got to consolidate. Everything is forward thinking.
And Me, the Wife and Wrexham says, I think it's a podcast actually. I anticipate a tougher season than last term. Looks like a much stronger league this year. Continue to consolidate the Championship place to allow our infrastructure to catch up with our rapid rise is the sensible answer. But we think we can make the playoffs with a few more signings. And that was before the goalkeeper came in this week. So
I'd agree with that.
So we're predicting good stuff for Wrexham this season.
Yeah, I think it's going to just be a hell of a Championship season. If you say to me predict, I would say I think it's a tougher Championship this year than it was last year.
Okay.
Right, by quite some distance.
So what about Cardiff then? I saw them on Saturday. beat Swindon. They were a bit open. They've signed Nathan Trott on a 3-year deal. I think he comes in as still one of the best keepers in the Championship, I would say. After the loan last season where he was
Wouldn't
superb.
disagree, yeah.
Jack Moylan is in from Lincoln City. Made a big impact on
Good
Saturday.
player.
Yeah. Brian Barry Murphy said after the game, we're conscious of the fact that we're very short in numbers, in terms of numbers. They've been linked with Omari Kellerman returning from Chelsea.
I hope he does, man. Do you know what? I'm not going to name the podcast because I wouldn't give him the satisfaction, but I heard some guy on a podcast, he was mentioned, and there was talk about Omari, and it was like, who is he? And this was a fan of the club. And I was like, well, bro, like, one, you don't speak about players like that. You never even played the game yourself. A bit more respect. But two, the kid's quality.
Yeah.
He's
I think most Cardiff fans
really,
would
really man, I walk over hot coals to bring him back. I tell you that now. He's a quality player. And he's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Do you know what he reminds me of? I don't know if you agree with this. Mine's gone blank. Liverpool, plays on the left, Dutch boy. Jonah. Gakpo. See? He reminds me of him.
We'll hear more from Mark Jones later, by the way.
He reminds me of him and his stature, his body style, his running style. But I think he's a quality player, man. You know,
okay.
I do. I really like him.
Well, they need cover at left back as well because Joel Bacon is... There was a moment on Saturday where Joel Bacon stayed down injured and you're thinking, wow, left back at Cardiff because they got injuries. Will Fish is out for 3 months with a hernia.
That's a blow, man.
Yeah.
Because Wills was quality last year.
Dylan Lawler, no return date. This was as of Saturday. I keep saying Brian Barry Murphy's got a press conference today when we're recording this, so it's possible that he'll have updates on this. Callum Chambers has been out. Ruben Colwell isn't quite right yet. So, but the one thing I did notice, Yusuf Salak looks bulkier, and it was basically confirmed by Brian Barry Murphy afterwards, that he had the neck problem, didn't he? Got injured, out for a few weeks at the end of last season. But he's come back, if anything, stronger.
He's got strength in him.
He took his second goal beautifully on Saturday. I think he's going to be another big player for them. And the one I really like is Cian Ashford has looked real quality in pre-season.
Cian and Joe, Isaac, Ruben.
Yeah.
They're my sort of...
Isaac Davis, Ruben Colwell, of course.
I love them players. I really do. But I think Salak, you have to strengthen your... You know, I had a crash on the M6 and I done my neck. And the pin popped out of my neck. And then you just had to wait for it to gradually go back in. But then you've got to do all these mad neck exercises and stuff like that. So, it doesn't surprise me. He's probably built up round it as well, around the shoulder area, just to make sure it's because it was a bad injury. Yeah, it's the kind of injury that can end your career, right? So no surprises that he's put on. I mean, he didn't need to put on bulk, right? Because he's a monster of a size anyway. But you know, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna say he's gonna be 20+ goals this season.
Right, big statement in the Championship. He scored goals in the...
I'll go even bigger.
Championship last season.
You go 25+.
Before. Wow, there we are. 25+, says Nathan Blake for Yusuf Salak. Love your thoughts on that. Give us a shout on social media at Rob and Blakey. So let's round up on Cardiff. They've got Wrexham on Monday.
I'm there.
So yeah,
during the game.
Derby away, Sheffield United home, Queen's Park Rangers away, Pompey away, Stoke home. We keep saying it. No easy games. John T.M. Williams says, top 6 for Bluebirds, maybe higher if they get their defence sorted out. Ambitious. Gareth Pearce, on the other hand, says, Cardiff lack consistent Championship experience, a 5 to 6 bodies quality short. League toughest for years, known for months they needed fullback wingers, unacceptable. Colwell and Cole have no excuses this season. Prediction, bottom 6, he says. And James CCFC says 13th. Thoughts?
Difficult to understand or agree with or disagree with any of them. It's like last year with the players and the quality, I think it was, if the coaching was quality or good, they'd stood a chance, and the coaching was magnificent, right? So they get promoted. But I say to people, like, whether it's not the Premier League, but the Championship is a different beast, mate.
Yeah.
Right? It's you to win the Championship, you got to be good physically. You got to be great football wise. You got to have it all. You got to have a team spirit, because the injury is going to come. It's a tough ask, mate. So I'm like, that's what I'm saying. I think this is like Millwall, what they done last season.
Yeah.
They'll be in the mix again.
No.
Right? I just think it's such a tough league to call. And if you're going to say to me, oh, what do you think Wrexham or Cardiff or Swansea fit? Honestly, Bert, I've got no Scooby-Doo.
Bert. You're the only one who calls me Bert.
Yeah,
you and my daughter.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, you love us both the same, don't
Yeah.
you?
Oh, yeah. Sort of. Should say as well, Darren Purse has gone from Cardiff. I think it's a big loss, because I think he's been brilliant bringing these youngsters through.
Yeah,
so all the best to Darren at
well.
Sligo Rovers.
Yeah. So I would expect him to get like maybe like a job like Cheltenham.
Yeah,
Cardiff.
manager's
What I've
job.
noticed is like some like Jermaine Defoe. I know, slightly just to go off piece a bit, like Woking and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, how do you go to Woking and Frank Lampard go to Chelsea or Derby? Like, how do you know? How does that work? How does Stevie G go to Rangers and then Sol Campbell goes to Macclesfield? Or
there we are. Anyway, we should ponder that. Leave you to ponder it.
I'll leave it out
quickly
there.
On Newport County, because we want to give time.
Whoa, you're not
our
dissing up
guest.
my
No, well,
Black
Christian
and
Fuchs
Amber's,
has walked. It's chaos, isn't it? Christian Fuchs walked out after 7 months, kept them up.
Yeah,
Eve
done
of
brilliant.
pre-season. His assistant,
Done brilliant.
Mark Smith, went through. Hayden Mullins joined from Fulham under 21s.
Good signing. Hayden, good player,
Chris
good
Todd
man.
staying as his number 2, which I think is good. Fourth permanent manager since Hugh Jenkins took over.
I would like to see Hayden make the decision on who his number 2 is, though. Bringing in his home staff. And that's the only thing that worries me. Everybody else has been allowed to come in, bring 3, 4, 5. And some of the people that have been brought in, I know fact, because I know they're from Newport. Like I'm telling you now, shouldn't be coaching at like Gwent League level, let alone League 2 level. But hey, it is what it is. But I don't understand how you bring Hayden Mullins in. One, he hasn't selected the players. Or any of the players.
Well, he's.
Oh, let me finish. And 2, he's not got his backroom staff that he would like.
Yeah.
So you're already like hamstringing him before you even started in a team that's got one of the lowest budgets and has almost got relegated 2 seasons in a row. What's going on there?
So you've seen them. How are they looking by what you said? I've heard good reports about Saturday, despite the defeat at
I seen them
Wimbledon.
against Roma, and I can't judge that performance, right?
Okay.
Although they could have been 2 or 3 up at half time.
I like the fact they got Harrison Biggins back from Cheltenham. I thought he may not Cheltenham, from Shrewsbury.
Yeah, Christopher, he's back. It's good to have him back. Good player. Christopher Biggins is a dressing room thing.
Right, yeah, sorry. Cameron Norman back as well.
Yeah. Done well against
good
Roma.
Experience. Christian Doige, he's been around for a while.
Need pace. That's what they need.
Yaya Bambas got a belter on Saturday. Really good goal.
Would it be wrong to me to say it was Camwa-esque?
It was Camwa-esque. He's gone, of course, so we don't mention him anymore. But he did what was needed at the end of the season. So they got Rochdale home on Saturday. Bristol Rovers away, really tough. Both 12:30 games. Tranmere home, Salford away, Northampton away, Fleetwood home. Gareth of GW Photography on X says, and he's FAW accredited, by the way. You should know this. Cardiff City mid-table, we an up and down season results-wise. Swansea flirt with relegation. Keeping Vipotnik will be crucial. Wrexham top 10 but won't trouble playoffs. Newport, another season of struggle. Could be the year, he says ominously.
Who said that?
Gareth.
Wrexham top 10 but won't trouble playoffs, but there's 8 teams in the playoff positions.
Yeah, so they're going
to trouble the
So Ben, formerly of this parish, Ben Thomas.
Yeah.
Cardiff will be comfortable this season, roughly 16th place finish. Swans will have strong home form but won't quite have the quality and depth to challenge the playoffs. Wrexham will be in the mix but won't make playoffs, 10th place finish. And he's predicting Phil Parkinson might be gone as well. Interesting. Newport have flirted with the drop last few seasons. I think this is the year they'll get relegated. So Newport fans, don't turn off in your droves. What are you thinking? Another tough fight, but what I like about Mullins is he said I'm not to play academy football.
I'm just fed up of like the whole thing at Newport. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? What's the plan? I'm a Newport fan. You know what I mean? I love Cardiff. I love Newport openly. And I went over there for the Roma game. I must have seen about 200 people I know. And everyone's saying, what's the plan? What are we doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, they're relying a lot on Hayden Mullins.
They are, again. Yeah. But you've done it last year with Fuchs. Like, learn your lesson. For a start, like, there's a thing what they've got. They've almost used in the Welsh League as their academy. So if you're an academy kid at Newport, like, the chances are you're not going to get an opportunity because they're going to sign a kid from Welsh League. That's backwards, mate.
Okay. We will talk more about Newport again.
I don't know what's going on there.
We will talk, but we've got to quickly mention Merthyr off to a good start. 2-1 over Hensford in the National League North. Having missed out on the players, yeah.
Didn't we play them in the Welsh Cup?
Yeah, you did, yeah. Missed out on the playoffs last season with their drop-off. They finished 8th, 3 points adrift of Chester. Former Chelsea youngster Jason Maddox scored 2.
Okay.
Best of luck to them at Spennymoor on Saturday. This is the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast. We're loud and clear on Welsh football. We're also truthful. Look, the heat has got to the system, even here at the University of South Wales Atrium. So we're having to do a little bit of the podcast again. You will notice there is no Nathan Blake, but got to give a really big intro to our special guest, who will be a regular contributor on the podcast, because we thought the NOVIRA Cymru Leagues are bigger and better, and so we've got an expert. Mark Jones is a former manager in the domestic leagues. He's still the Wales C boss with a win over England under his belt. He's known as the voice of domestic football. Well, that's what I read on X this week. And when we announced that was when we announced his involvement. So welcome, Mark Jonah Jones.
Thank you very much, Rob. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, what people won't see is what you told us when Nathan was here.
Yeah.
But we're doing this bit again. As I said, I'm upfront about all these things. We're loud and clear. We're truthful too. But one exciting time for the NOVIRA Cymru Prem.
Yeah, it's been, well, the first 2 weeks of this season has been magnificent. You know, you see new players, 16 teams. And I think that everybody's looking forward to it. Whether it was getting a little bit stale with the 12 teams where players were playing against each other maybe 4, even 5 or 6 times a season. Now they play each other twice a season before the playoffs at the end of the year. And it's a fresh start. And everybody's really looking forward to it. And I think the crowds so far have been absolutely fantastic. I think we've had 1,000 plus crowds already in the first 2 weeks, and hopefully many more to come.
Yeah, now let's get it right. How the league splits after 30 games now, doesn't it?
Yes.
And then there's a top, middle, and bottom section. The bottom section at the end of the season will fight to avoid relegation and playing.
Yeah, the top team from the Cymru South and the Cymru North will play the third from bottom in a playoff final, I think.
Right, and the bottom two will
be relegated.
Middle tier will be going for Europe.
Yes.
And the top tier going for the title and Europe as well. So you said it probably needed a change. What I do like about things is that, I mean, I was around when Tony Wilcox took Cwmbran into Europe, the first winners.
Brilliant, the first winners,
the old Conica League.
1992, I think.
1992, yeah. And and you've been around that long, plus a bit more as well. But for once, I think, whatever you think of the new ideas, and we'll talk about them in a minute, the FA of Wales has shown a bit of love towards their own domestic league.
Yeah, well, like you said, we've had Sgorio involved for all the time since it have started, and brilliant. And now it looks like the BBC are coming on board as well. There are a lot more different outlets at the games, and it just seems to be very quickly over the last 3 or 4 months. It's taken the league itself, it looks like, hopefully to another level.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we know there's 3 qualifiers for Europe this season. It didn't go well in Europe in the summer, which will lead to all sorts of arguments about whether there should be summer football. We won't touch that now. That'll be for later. So I'll warn you about that in the next few weeks. I'm sure we'll talk about that. But it is important because there's only San Marino below Wales in the coefficients.
Yeah.
And that is not a good place to go. And that's why there's only 3 teams in Europe from this season instead of 4.
Yeah, that's right. We have to suffer that. We have to put up with it. It's like, if it's like a team playing bad, you get a stick from your fans, and the fans are entitled to it most probably. It was, we had a glorious couple of years, a few years ago when TNS, they were in this group stages, which pushed our coefficient points right up. But hopefully now, maybe the change, you'll get the standards even higher. There's players coming in from different leagues now to our league. Hopefully that'll lift the standard maybe of play, and the youngsters in academies at every academy, hopefully they'll join and get alongside these new players coming into our league, and we'll set the standard a little bit higher, and we can get back to winning in Europe, which we have in the past.
Yeah, exactly. And with the league setup, there should be no dead rubbers now, should there? Or certainly less. I
think it's a great, it's a great idea because of that. Nathan Blake was on about it earlier on when he talked to you about 8th position in the championship. You told him, and he went, "Oh," but when you explained to him, and that's what I'm trying to explain now, is that there won't be no dead rubbers. Every game to the end of the season, there could be 4 teams, 6 teams involved in last day cup finals, which is fantastic.
Yeah, well, Nathan never listens to me.
Yeah,
he'd learn a lot if he did. What about, talk me through VAR Light?
Yeah, VAR Light, they've brought that in. Because our league is a European league, and we qualify, and our teams can play in Europe, which we're proud of. You have to have VAR in your league system. So they're bringing VAR Light, and they call it Light. They have an additional referee, obviously watching the television, and an assistant with him, and it covers the minor ones. It covers the offsides, which is not minor. I was at Carnarvon last week, and they did it in VAR, and it worked out well. Not everybody's going to agree with it, Rob. We've watched VAR for the last 3 or 4 years on, BBC, on Sky and everything, and you can watch it 50 times. And if you can be sat in the house with your son, or sat in the house with your best mate, and you're still arguing over it. So...
Yeah, I agree with it on offside. So I got to say, I like the offside thing.
Yeah.
I know sometimes there's only a toe in front.
Yeah.
But if you're offside, you're offside. It's like in cricket. You're out or you're not.
That's right.
Oh, they do have umpires call, which confuses it.
Yeah. But I just think they're bringing it, they're bringing it in. It's a rule we got to have. And the good thing is we've abided by it, and up we go. We're up and at it.
My mate, Chris Wathen, said, Friday night football, it's gone from default Saturday to Friday football now. Do you see the merit in that? Because it's the one thing we can't be responsible for, the road links between North and South, which are not great. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Lovely trips.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend 3.5 hours going up to North Wales than 3.5 hours stuck on the M6. Yeah. But it is a problem for Wales, isn't it? Geography.
Yeah, of course it is. It's a problem. And everybody's talked about it. We talked about it last year when it first got mentioned, or 2 years ago when it first got mentioned. It's arrived now, so we have to deal with it. There will be people, for instance, a school teacher may have to, go and see their headmaster every week. And are you allowed to get the Friday off every week? But you have to come, if you're going to be a player in this league now, you have 30 games. I think most people will play 20 Fridays. is something we have to deal with. And the good thing so far is the crowds have increased, and they've increased, very well. So let's hope it works. I think it could get a bit difficult with in the winter, because we do have, as beautiful as it is at the moment, we do have some cold, dark winters, don't we? And bringing children out, from November to February could be difficult to watch the games, because at the moment, been to watch Barry so far. I'm going to Cambrian tomorrow night. There'll be 200 to 200 children up there, and they're important for the future of the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at present, it's been a great start, and hopefully the players and the clubs can deal with it. And it is a positive start so far.
Well, you're going to bring us regular contributions on
definitely.
this. We're looking forward to it. So let's go through the games then. We should say TNS are not top. Cardiff met the top, just ahead of Llandudno and Barry on goal difference. Then come Colwyn Bay, TNS, Britain Ferry. In the middle section, Penabont, Conisky, Carnarvon and Airbus. And then in the lower section, Ammanford, Cambrian, Flint, Haverfordwest, Trevelyan and Holywell yet to get points. Anyone testing TNS this season?
I think TNS will be red-hot favourites, as they have been. I think a lot of people forget, the wonderful job that Andy Morrison did at Conisky about 6 or 7 years ago, when they won the league twice. I think if you speak to most people, you think TNS have won it, 10 to 15 years in a row. Of course, they have most of the years, but Morrison did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
but that mustn't be forgot when he was at Conisky. But they'll be red hot favourites. They are still a very, very good side. They got 4 points out of 6 at the moment. So the teams like Cardiff Met, who are up there at the top, Llandudno, Barry Town.
Llandudno.
Yeah,
so
unbelievable.
What's their standout?
I say their standout is their manager, Jordan Hadaway, is 25 years of age, which is incredible, absolutely incredible. Don't know what he's doing, but tomorrow, Friday, again, he has a chance to win it against Holywell, and he could go 9 points out of 9.
I was reading that he is the youngest manager in the top tier in Europe.
Well, all I'm saying is somebody who managed for a few years, enjoy it, Jordan. Really enjoy it while you're at the top.
So let's go through the games. This Friday, Airbus against Ammanford, Cambrian against Flint, Conisky, Trevelyan, Haverfordwest, Penabont, and Llandudno, Holywell. And then on Saturday, and also TNS against Britain Ferry. Then on Saturday, it's Barry against Cardiff Met on BBC iPlayer, and Carnarvon against Colwyn Bay on Sgorio.
Yeah, massive games. The one on Sgorio on Friday tea time is absolutely, that's a big game. Colwyn Bay averaged at home about 14 to 1500 last year. Carnarvon with their beautiful new setup at the Oval, and their ground is, you could play cricket on there, Rob. It's fantastic. When I went up there last Friday, that will be some game. Because
they benefited from having the European
definitely.
Yeah.
But I think they'll have, that could be a full house there, which I think is about 1700. Brilliant. I think that'll be guaranteed. Penabont go down to Haverfordwest County. Haverfordwest are not yet off the mark, Tony Pennock. But Rhys Griffiths will know his team have a tough game down there. And Cambrian and Clydach, there's Welsh Premiership football back in the Ronda, which is great to see.
Yeah.
And Cambrian will be looking, Liam Williams and all his players will be looking to go, get their first win Friday night.
I thought they did all right against Barry in the first game.
Oh, they did really well.
Yeah.
Like you say, Rob, even though it's early games, any manager will tell you, everybody says it, nothing really counts early doors. The season builds up and builds up. Every game with a 30 count, everyone. So points are important now as they are towards the end of the season.
Well, it's bigger and better. We think we got bigger and better with having you on board, Jonas, so can't wait. You're going to bring us loads of different angles. But I think we've mapped out what the league's all about for the uninitiated. We'll dip into the south and the north too to keep an eye on who might be coming up. So it's brilliant having you on board. I should say, just before we go, Ben Davis, it's just been announced, Ben Davis, the Wales Centurion, is now on the FAW. They've announced 8 sort of new members of the FAW Council, come from youth, from women's football, player representatives, and Ben Davis is one of those. So should be all right for tickets now, Ben, at Wales games when he's not picked.
Good luck to Ben.
Yeah, exactly. So you have hopefully enjoyed the first Rob and Blakey commentary box of the new season. We've had our glitch, But hey, we're upfront about that. But we're delighted to be back. There'll be much more every week now. Jonah will be part of it as well. Nathan Blake, of course. I mean, somebody has to keep him under control. But we will be back. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please subscribe and like. It does make a big difference to us. But this is the Rob and Blakey Commentary Box podcast. We're loud and clear on Welsh football.